Hi. The other one is dead, so we're sharing this one for now.
But I kind of like this because then we can form complete thoughts and kind of trade back and forth, which is cool.
Because I'm a bit of I interrupt a lot on accident.
Me too.
So it's a bad habit, so this is easy.
Exactly. And then we can know for sure when our thoughts are complete.
So,
Do you want to introduce our first topic? Because you were the one that brought it up this morning.
Tika? Uh, oh, do what you love no matter what, even if it seems trivial to others.
Do you want me to start on this topic? All right. So, doing what you love doesn't always mean career wise. Some people don't go into the career that they are necessarily satisfied with. Like, I feel like there's a big push in society to find a career that best suits you. But I feel like we need to broaden our definition of doing what we love and look at it in the sense of if you want to move to that city, just do it. If you want to um, live your life going to the library, making podcasts, it doesn't matter. You should do what you want to do. And if you don't necessarily have a dream career per se, that's completely fine as long as what you're doing is something that you love and are comfortable with. That's how I feel you should look at it.
Because I feel like a lot of people, they go off of what their families think. And if, like, they have this dream, but their family is, like, not supportive of it, they're scared to, like, let them down. So then they're like, okay, I guess I'll have to do this, this, and this. I feel like sometimes when it comes to, like, being a doctor or a lawyer, some people do it just because, let's say, like, their family, like, immigrated to America and they need, like, the money, but maybe it's not what they really wanted. So it's, like, generational trauma. Or it's like the family tried to do it but then failed because of their parents. So it's like again like generational trauma. It just keeps going and going and going, and then nobody ever gets anywhere, and then everyone keeps forgetting the life that they lived, and um then you have two girls up here making podcasts saying that don't do that, Polly, because the generational trauma goes crazy. I feel like in both of our families, and maybe we won't make a difference, but we want to set our own lives and standards how we want to live
And also a disclaimer, we understand that circumstances prevent
them.
people from achieving what they want. But what we mean is more of if you have if you have a definition of success, you should strive to achieve it no matter what. And again, there are external circumstances that sometimes do not allow us to do that. But if you are in a place where you can pursue your dreams, if you have the privilege of being able to pursue your dreams, you owe it to the people that are unable to pursue those dreams and do what you love. We live in a country, we were lucky enough to be born into a country where we are safe. We do not constantly have to worry about where our next meal comes from or whether or not we're about to be bombed. We are so extremely privileged. But what we can do with that privilege is acknowledge it and do something with it. And I 100% believe that if you have the means to get anywhere in life and to achieve more than your parents did, more than the past generations in your family did, like you should want to do that. And again, we're not trying to push this onto you. Like if you don't do this, then you're not going to be happy in life. But truly, like why wouldn't you want to do what you want to do? We're just saying don't let anything hold you back and to just kind of acknowledge that you have privilege, you can do it, you know?
I feel like we should have said that at the beginning, before we went off. But yeah, like we're so privileged. But I mean, like I'm talking about like the kids at school. I've told you about this. It's like they don't study and then they ask for extra credit because they're like, oh yeah, no, I'm failing, or they brag about not studying, and then it's like they have Fs. Like every single class, even like the easiest things ever, like gym class, they have like Fs. And it's like, that's not, or like they smoke and they do drugs to like get away from reality, and it's just like that's not gonna help you in the long run at all. And I think that's gonna harm you. And again, as Talia said, you need to be very grateful that you're born in this country, that you know that like I get it. Some people don't know where their next meal is gonna come from, even in this country. But if you know, but you just don't care, like you don't take in consideration how grateful you need to be about that, um, then that just kind of shows the type of person you are. And that
She smiles as she says it. The type of person you
type of person you are, and we do not want to be associated with you. Me and her are very open to all people for friendships, but when it comes to you,
Yes, we definitely don't accept people that have resources and opportunities but fail to grasp them. And like you said, people who have everything at their fingertips and yet still ask for assistance and expect help. And I know there's a lot of people that frame themselves as the victim in situations where if they get a bad grade or they fail to, get a certain test grade or they're not doing well in their sport, they'll complain to others and they'll try to make themselves a victim. But nobody's targeting you. Hard work does produce results, and I'm not saying that you're going to become the next soccer star or anything, but if you want results, there is a surefire way to get it, and it is putting in the work, practicing. And this is kind of off topic because we were talking about doing what you love, but you know, I think that people who recognize that it takes hard work to achieve your dreams, those are the people that will, continue to do what they do no matter what. Like if you truly want something, you can work hard to get it.
um, yeah, basically, and our next topic is one of this really big influencer that we like. He makes podcasts as well. His name's Leo Skeppy, and he very much has that like what kind of attitude does he have? Like a
Tough love.
tough love, tough love, like reality. And it's like we're not saying like think of like reality and like think outside the box. Like please do, but we're talking about this on the way here. It's like yeah, think of the real world, but like don't let it take over your life. I'm really hoping my phone doesn't say low battery storage again. Or low battery storage, low iPhone storage. And cuts off. Okay. Um, yeah, he makes us maintain a sense of like discipline. Because we were talking about this, we talk about a lot of stuff on the way here. We're talking about how we like, because school's ending, and we're just kind of getting into like we're getting into a little bit of a slump, and like staying off our phones is a little bit difficult more recently. And that is a challenge that we are striving to. But he really sets us in a maintain of like, get off your phone, look at the world. It's like it's not worth it, you know.
Agreed. And in one of his most recent podcasts, he talked about how laziness can degrade the quality of your life. And we we've made the disclaimers. We are in a place where we can worry about these things, but we like to have our routines. We like to have order in our lives. And for me, I feel that whenever I don't have routines and I don't make productive efforts every single day, that's when I start to get into my slump. And that's what I think he means when he says that laziness can gradually, you know, worsen the quality of your life because slowly you start to stop caring about maybe your physical appearance and then you stop caring about your grades and then you lose the big picture of, well, I want to achieve this. You can never achieve the big thing if you don't achieve the little things, the little disciplines every single day. And that's what he sort of emphasized, that you need to wake up. You need to roll out of bed and do what you got to do. And we kind of like that attitude because he's like, snap out of it.
Like there's this one thing that I heard of too. It's like the 3-2-1 method. Like you count to three and then you count 3-2-1 and then you get out of bed. first thing's like how you start caring about your like physical appearance. It reminded me of one thing that I was saying earlier. It was like how I think of my day-to-day routine. It sounds like a workaholic type thing, but it's kind of like morning shift me, afternoon shift me, and then night shift me. So in the morning, I get up, I stretch, I make my breakfast if I'm hungry, um, I do my skincare, brush my teeth, I take a shower if I need to, if I didn't take one the night before, and I like clean up my room, I clean up my bed. I don't, I don't like, sometimes you don't need to make your bed, but as long as you just like take the covers and just kind of flip them. Cause then if I go to school, if I'm doing anything, by the time I get afternoon, like afternoon shift me, she doesn't have to worry about anything, so I can sit if I need to like study, read, work out, do the dishes, make myself do anything. She doesn't have to worry about anything else. And then comes the night shift me, getting ready for bed, unwinding, doing whatever I need to do. It makes it easier because like if morning shift me leaves my room a mess, night shift me has to deal with it. And it's like it's annoying, it's annoying. So it's just like rather get all stuff done and there. Um, and another thing that Leo says is, did you say that laziness can gradually degrade your quality of life? Yeah. Action is a key to success, which is like you need to take action in cleaning your room, studying, making sure that like I like to make sure that my room is like a safe place where I feel like comfortable in, um, where I feel calm in. I don't really I have a small room, but I want to make sure that it's like comfortable for my living space. And yeah.
I have one last note, and that is just that small steps every day make all the difference in the world. Even if you don't think that getting up and brushing your teeth or making breakfast or doing the dishes means anything, if you don't think it means anything, that's fine, but I'm here to tell you that those small actions, they add up. And I think that just a little bit of productivity every day can definitely get you where you want to go. So, the next topic we have is a Japanese concept called ikigai, and it is your reason for living or your purpose in a sense. And I will allow you to be the first one to talk about this topic because you were the one that brought it up. So,
Thank you. Ikigai being your purpose of living is like what makes you strive to like wake up in the morning every day. Makes you like what you love, what the world needs, like a mission, and what you're good at. It's like a concept of things and what you get paid to do. So it's yeah, again, like what you love, your passion, what the world needs is your mission, what you're good at, your vacation, and then what you can get paid for is your profession. So it's like what gets you up in the morning, what makes you strive to be the best that you can be. And my ikigai is like it's like kind of to live a life that I don't regret, to make sure that I want to be that grandma that like it's talked about for generations to generations like oh like um your great 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 grandma LJ, like she was such like she was such like a beautiful loving person, so caring, and it's just like all these stories and like again living a life I don't regret. I want to be able to travel. That's my passion, is to travel and be able to tell my kids, be like, oh yeah, no, like I was in like Sri Lanka and riding in the back of like a stranger's van while like picking like flowers or something. I don't even know. Like something like that. Like something that's cool like that. Or it's like I went up a mountain. I hiked up Mount Fuji and like fought a mountain lion, like something like that. That'd be really cool to say. And survived. And I could have like a really cool scar. I don't know, something like that would just be so cool. Um Something like I get paid for. It could be something like this, like even if it's like vlogging, just living my passion.
So I would define my ikigai probably as, again, this can be very broad, and yours more is just like, yours I feel like is leaving a legacy of being just a loving, caring person, like you said, which I love that one. I feel like that's definitely part of mine as well, is wanting to leave a legacy of, somebody that has seen the world, experienced the world, and is able to pass on some of my wisdom to other people. And I do absolutely love helping people, and that is part of my life purpose. I want to be able to help people and improve their quality of life. But I guess another aspect of mine would be to enlighten people, not in the sense of like, oh, I know so much, I'm so wise, here's information for you. But if I can help people to wake up and change the way that they see reality, kind of what we're doing here on a very small scale, then I would love to do that. And part of that is like one of my passions is writing. I would absolutely love to publish a novel one day in the far future. But I think even just fiction, even if it's not my personal life lesson, through characters you can teach people so much. So that's something I would love to do. Um, I've said I wanted to study law, so that would be how I help people. And it's like all I can really think of right now. But again, it's kind of better to keep it broad because you don't want to specifically be like, my ikigai is to kick a soccer ball into a net and achieve world success, world fame. But
She got like I like how you explain it, like how
you can't read, or else we're taking pictures in the right.
oh I feel like how you explain it, like how I like want to be the grandma that passed on to generations, like and like you kind of you firmed it more, and I was very more lightheaded about it. But I don't know. But I love how I feel like every single day I realize how much more we are alike because growing up I used to write books a lot of fictional books, and I used to, like in elementary school I would present them in front of class. I used to be like, okay, these are my books. It's basically like the Gingerbread Man or something. But then in sixth grade I wrote this like a fantasy book that was for my English class. And it was supposed to only be like a couple of chapters, which is what I did. But it was like kind of what's this? It was like this one book and movie that we read. I forget what it was called. Bridge to Terabithia.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, so I had to like write like a little fantasy short story novel, and I did, and then my English teacher was like, "Can I like share this like my next classes like next year and stuff? Because this is so cool." And I feel like that really pushed me. Like we love to read, and again we love to write. So it's like I feel like if you were to publish something, it could either be like again like a novel, and I'd be over here with like something like fantasy. But that'd be really 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 cool. I would love to see you write it.
Guys, we just bonded.
Again, like I said, we find something new every day.
We twins, like,
That's my sister.
nice.
It's my twin. I swear we were separated at birth. We were so separated at birth. I swear.
You were so worried when I said put down the mic.
I was
You're
like, I was like, did I say something wrong? Like,
put it
hello.
down now. And then I asked you that, and you're like,
Mic drop.
mic drop, for real.
Okay.
Oh wait, I did write something. Oh yeah, I saw somebody make a statement the other day. I think it might have been on Instagram or TikTok, I'm not sure. But they said that we are all working toward collective liberation in the sense that your job doesn't necessarily have to matter. You can be picking up garbage, you can be a food service worker, it doesn't matter, but your life purpose should be tied to the collective liberation of our world. Like you should be striving to be aware of everything that's going on around us and This is especially important with the crisis that is happening right now. I feel like we all need to be aware of the moving parts in the world, and we should no longer see ourselves as like passive people that things are just happening to. Like, we can make change, and yeah, that's all I really have to say.
Our next topic is respect the boundaries that you've placed. Don't go back to a relationship that didn't serve you, regardless of how well you were treated. We created boundaries for a reason. And since you wrote that, I'll let you go.
I'm not going to explicitly state this is about anybody in my life because I feel like that would be disrespectful and an invasion of their privacy. But I will say that if you are in a relationship that doesn't serve you and you've left it and you're considering going back to somebody, I would advise you not to, even if you believe that that person deserves a second chance. I feel that we create boundaries for a reason, and if somebody wasn't right for you the first time around, I don't generally believe that they're the right person for you. And I feel like that can be said about a lot of other things and not just relationships. But if you've created a boundary and somebody comes along and tries to challenge that, you shouldn't just give in. You should stand with the boundaries that you've created. And yes, that takes somebody who has a lot of like moral self-assuredness. Like, you need to be very strong in your beliefs about life and yourself. But I think that's important because, I mean, your boundaries don't mean anything if you don't actually use them.
That's a big one because it's like you need to protect your peace more than anybody else's. And even if it comes to like, let's say this is like another person, like your friend keeps going back to their ex and they keep coming to complain to you about such and such, you need to set that boundary like, hey, like, you're doing yourself this favor that is wrong. You're the one who keeps messing up in this term. Well, not like you're the one who keeps messing up, but you're the one who keeps going back and keeps getting your feelings hurt, knowing that they're gonna keep hurting you, and you need to set the boundary like, I don't want to listen to this. I don't want your negative like emotions of this like sad relationship more wafting up onto me. Like, I'm setting this thing. Like, please don't. And even if you're that person in the relationship, you need to be like, you're not worth it. Like, I get it. Like, if you were with somebody for like many, many, many years, it can be really hard to get over them. But you need to realize that, like, there's 8 billion people on this earth. You have so many more opportunities. You don't have, I'm not saying get into another relationship. You can stay single for the rest of your life. But there's 8 billion people and you only have you. You are more important than any other person can offer you in a relationship. You just like, love yourself more than you can love others.
Also, just to touch on relationships, I feel like when you get into a relationship, you should never do it for the sake of being in a relationship. Sorry.
I started scrolling on her phone.
I was like, where is she going? But yeah, you should never get into a relationship for the sake of being in a relationship. If you don't truly like somebody and you don't believe that there would be value in being together, then you never have to be in a relationship. If you never find anybody in your life that fulfills that for you, you don't have to. Like, of course, you should be open-minded to love if that's what you want. But I don't think that you should just choose somebody because it's like, well, I guess I'll be in a relationship. Everybody else is.
Because then that's not real life. Like, what's that? I feel like there's this like Japanese holiday. Because I watched like this Japanese show yesterday and it was like, I think it starts like she something. It's like before Christmas. I don't know, cause it's like people get into relationships because obviously like was it Christmas Eve is like more like couples. So people always just get into relationships for that because they don't want to be lonely, and it's kind of sad because it's like, is that even real love? Or you just get in a relationship just to Our next things are something that I found on Instagram. It was 10 realizations that will change your life. And the first one is the more thankful you are, the more you attract things to be thankful for. And again, like how we said, like we feel so privileged to like live where we are. Where I can go to school, I can sit here, I have my phone. Currently stacked my phone on all my school supplies. And just how thankful I can be that, like, how's it? Even if you're thankful for friends, you're gonna attract more people, and that's so cool. And again, it's like if you hang out with the wrong people, you're just gonna attract more of that, and then you're gonna fall into that category. But if you sit there and you hang out with people that you're very grateful for, like I'm so very grateful for this girl right here. And you're just gonna attract that love wherever you go, and you're just gonna have that aura on you that people, you know.
Yes, gratitude is a perspective, and when you see life through a lens of gratitude rather than just hopelessness and never applying any meaning to anything, then you're bound to have good things happen to you. Okay. So I'm not really sure that I have much more to say about that other than just be grateful for what you have, because if you're watching this video, you have a lot more than others do. So, yeah. Is it charged?
Hello? It's on, so.
Perfect. Our second one. Sometimes it's a blessing to not get what you want. And I feel like we've touched on this with relationships before because there was somebody that I was pining for. And I'm so grateful that we did not end up being together because I don't think that we would have been a good match. And looking back, I'm so grateful that it never worked out.
That.
What?
Next. Like, even if it's like something that you feel doesn't work out, it can lead you to like a better opportunity. Like, I'm trying to think if there's something in my life that, like, it's kind of like the butterfly effect.
I was literally just thinking that. Yeah.
And I feel like we touched on that. I feel like in our first video, I feel, so you already know. A memory without an emotional charge is called wisdom. I'm trying to think about that one.
Yeah, I think sometimes whenever we have emotions attached to our memories, we can't always see the lesson in them because we're so focused on how we felt about the outcome of that situation. So if you have like a bad memory about like a breakup with a boyfriend, or like if you lost a friend, wisdom I guess would be taking that memory and applying it to a life lesson, and rather than seeing it as, well, I hate them and they did me dirty and I got nothing out of the situation. Yeah.
You don't get what you want, you get more of what you are. I feel like that kind of contributes to. I don't know. Like, I feel like I understand it, but I can't really, like, place words into it.
I would say, I think what they're trying to say with that one is what you put out into the world will return to you regardless of what you want. So if you are the type of person that is cruel to others, if you express that you want others to love you and you want fame and to be adored, you're probably not going to get that back in return. And part of that I think is karma, but another part of it is, like they said, if that's who you are as a person, you can't really request things in your life that don't align with you.
You're so smart. I like the next one. You are allowed to change your mind at any time, no matter what age you are. I saw this one Instagram where I was like, this like 50 or 60-year-old woman, like she started a sport just because, and then she's like 80 years old and she's like incredible at it, just because she decided like, hey, I want to do this, I don't care what people think, and that is so incredibly, what's the word, like how you said you want to enlighten people, like it's so very like motivational, inspiring. That's the word. And it's just no matter what you do, like if you're scared to change your mind, I think it's like it's good because again with the butterfly effect and what you put on the world, it'll be easier for you in the long run when you do what you love and want instead of what you're scared to not do.
Agreed. And a lot of the time, your gut feeling about what you want to do is what you should do. Like, I understand that we feel fear sometimes, but like, your fear is not your gut feeling. Your gut feeling of, I want to do this, like, that's what you need to follow. You shouldn't let any other external factors, like, stop you from changing your mind and doing the thing you want to do.
We talked about the next one. Success is the sum of small efforts. The hardest part about change is not doing the same thing over and over again, which I like that, and that kind of strove to where we are today. Is it took us forever to like not fall back to the same place and just keep pushing, because we could have came to the library once, got nervous and never came back, but here we are.
Yes, and also we didn't get to update you guys about last time when we had our picnic, but it went phenomenally. Even though well, you weren't as scared as I was, but I feel like when we went into that room, it was so intimidating. But we persevered and we got through it. And honestly, that was one of the best days that I've had this year, like 2024. So,
Because we were like the only beginners among, I don't know, I know when I was in our beginner class I wasn't there.
No.
Like, and like it was all the intermediate people and we're sitting there like, and then so we ended up getting help from some of our teachers, because it was three truths and a lie that we played. So we ended up getting some help from our teachers, and it was it was so much fun, so many good laughs, and I'm so excited for when the semester starts up again.
Yay.
I hope that they do. I hope. Because they weren't thinking about doing it because they couldn't really get the teachers, but I really hope it opens up again.
Yes. The next one. In order to have the success that 5% of the population has, you must be willing to do what 95% of the population is. I agree with this, and I think that a lot of people have a skewed perception of how hard everybody else is working. They might think, well, everyone is trying to achieve this high level of success, so why should I if everybody else is shooting for the same goal? But truly, not everybody is. I think a lot of people let that hold them back because they think that, I'll never achieve success because, you know, there's a lot of people trying to do the same thing I'm trying to do, but really, it's not a lot of people.
I feel like that falls again in the same category as like um generational trauma. Like that's 90% of the generation falling in and doing what they think is best, but you want to go do your own thing. And that's what she was saying. It's just like don't be afraid to. Your ability to receive Your ability to receive is equal to your ability to give plus vice versa. So I think that's how you say like what you put out is what you get back.
Yes, and also, like, if you're somebody that can't take advice or criticism, then you can't give it either. So if you're not going to allow somebody to critique you or judge you, then you can't dish it out either.
I like the next one. Regret is the greatest pain.
Yes. You don't want to regret things.
And if you do, you make a motive of it. You use that as motivation. You regretted studying for that test. You regret, not regret not making your bed in the morning. Or like even if it goes deeper, like you regret hurting somebody's feelings. You regret cheating on somebody. You regret, I don't even know. Like even like if you hit somebody, like you physically abuse somebody, like you regret it. You use that as motivation, and because that's the greatest pain ever, that you can't get back that moment and change what you did to that person. And you use that to maybe strive to be a better person in your next relationship. But yeah.
Also, don't use regret as a way to victimize yourself. Use it as a way to motivate yourself, because I've known people that they will regret something that they've done and will use it as a way to self-pity. Like they won't use it as like, well, I made a mistake. They'll acknowledge that they made a mistake, but they don't do anything about it. Like if you continue doing the same things, that's not regret, that's a habit. Like that's, like if you did something once and you never want to do it again and you make a promise to yourself, that's what you have to do.
You get it.
You get it.
You get it.
You get it.
That's my turn. Do we have anything else?
I think that's it.
What are our plans for the rest of the day?
So, because we're at the library, I was going to go through the books, maybe try to find one that I like, and we were also going to maybe study a little bit. We're not really sure where the day's going to take us. We might get lunch.
I'd love to get lunch.
Yeah.
There's a lot of places around here. Where I'm so excited for this one because there's so many places that we should need to try around here.
And we can walk. We love walking.
We could even make a mukbang.
Yes.
Our next video. If you see us wearing our same clothes in our next video because we made a mukbang.
Exactly. Double post.
Yes. ASAP. If my phone lets me.
That's the question.
That is the question. We could just do it on your phone. But thank you for tuning in. We really need to find an outro to do.
We do, yeah. We need to find more. We need to have a better routine for like saying hello and saying goodbye.
Say hi.
Hi.
What's up?
What's up? I mean, okay, it's good to have like a conversation that's like
How are you?
feel. Yeah.
But same time, same place next week.
Yep.
Sounds good to me. Bye, guys.